follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm riding this. This is the Hero Maestro Edge Connect with i3s. And what are the changes? The changes are at the front. First and foremost, these are having some sort of a blackened treatment on the inside, but it gets an LED projector, which is a first in the segment. I'll turn it on a bit. LED DRL, which looks really very nice. At the front, we've got a 80/90 12. Yeah, that's right. 80/90 12 section tire. Well, you can see it gets alloy wheels because that is kind of an option here. Again, disc brake is again an option. Actually, depends on the variant. You can't really call it optional. Depending on the variant, you can get it. It says connect here because it's got connected tech, wherein you can actually get notifications when someone turns on the scooter. You can actually even find the location of your scooter. It's very nice indeed. It's very impressive actually. From the side, it looks very much like the older Maestro Edge, but the changes are mostly at the front. Says i3s right here. The rear tire happens to be a 10-incher, size 100. Yeah, 100 section. No, sorry, it's 90, 110. And exhaust also looks quite nice. Maestro written here. This color scheme will actually remind you of the TVS N-Torque, I kid you not. And the lights are also very similar to what was there earlier. Indicators turned on at the moment. Doesn't get a side stand, gets a main stand. Let me do one thing, let me turn on the scooter, which means that I just press this and there it turns on because of i3s. This is the i3s switch. We're going to turn off the indicator and here you can see the light. We're going to go high beam. Yeah, the lights are really very nice and bright. Quite impressive. Says 125 here, piano black finishing, Hero logo right there. You can feel the vibrations. Grab rail is massive. Well, that's what she said. There's a hook here. There's good amount of space here, and there is a hook here as well to get sub-Z. Meanwhile, okay, let me turn off the scooter because I'm going to open the under seat, and there you see this is the under seat. It's not really very big enough to carry a helmet. However, it gets a light. It also gets a USB charging socket. Yeah, it gets a USB charging socket, which is quite impressive and nice. And that's not okay. Let me just push this, and there it closes. Now, the most impressive thing I like about the scooter is this all digital instrument cluster. Let me open this once again because you guys might be wondering, where is the fuel filler? Well, that's a good question because the fuel filler happens to be here. In order to open it, you need to push this inside and there it opens. So they've so neatly concealed it, you cannot actually find it only. That's really impressive. Now let's just get to the instrument cluster, which is an all digital unit. Says i3s here, that is a warning. These are the controls obviously for the lights, high beam, low beam. This is the horn, which is loud enough, and this is the indicator switch. Overall quality of the scooter is actually quite nice, but this color scheme so much reminds me of the N-Torque. Actually, you know what? They have done a great job of giving you the best of a lot of worlds. So this is the fuel meter, this is the digital speedometer, this is the clock here, this is the telltale lights, all of them are placed here. Odometer says 82. Dhanan has been riding it since -5 kilometers. Bluetooth comes here. In fact, it has turn-by-turn navigation, which pairs with your phone, and then you can also get missed call alerts here. It gives you data right there, but you know what? You can browse through here because it's telling you what is the average fuel efficiency along with twin trip meters, which also tells you how much time you have ridden the scooter, what is the date today, what is the average fuel efficiency, and how many kilometers you've ridden. There are twin trip meters. There you can see twin trip meters. That's also pretty nice, and of course Bluetooth connectivity as well. But how is this scooter to ride? Well, let's start riding right away. Alright, we're all set to go, which means turning on the scooter, and there it rose to life and off we go straight away. I like the initial pickup of the scooter. It feels really nice and punchy. Mid-range is also fine. Obviously, such scooters or actually any scooter struggles in the top end because it's not about top end performance, and obviously because of the gearbox also, it really doesn't push hard into a top gear. I know this is gearless, but still, just saying. So performance is nice and smooth. Engine is also very refined thanks to BS6 and obviously fuel injection, which also helps the cause and also, you know, doesn't help the cause of the price. Maneuverability is really very nice. It's so easy to turn this scooter, which is very, very impressive. And then you get onto the throttle, you realize the mid-range is nice and punchy, reaches 50 kilometers per hour in no time at all, which is impressive. Now when compared to the earlier model, which was also BS6 compliant, changes aren't that drastic as such. Only thing is I think the brakes have improved. Braking performance is so much better now, but you know, because the brakes are sharper, when you apply brakes really hard, the rear tends to lock. Obviously it's got combi brake, which means when you apply the rear brake, obviously the front one also gets applied. And here we are onto the throttle. I love the refinement and smoothness of this engine and the fact that it reaches 60 kilometers per hour in no time at all. But then the top speed is somewhere around, let me guess, 85 kilometers per hour. I'm saying guess because at high speed beyond 60 kilometers per hour, it's not really very stable. So this is not something you would like to push hard because of the suspension as well. Where the Jupiter has a super duper soft suspension, this one actually has wait. N-Torque is actually having a stiff suspension, Jupiter soft. This is a good balance between both. Like, it's neither too stiff, neither too soft. It's like a mix. All right, here we go. Let's go. And yeah, this rickshaw is racing me. Just kidding. So you can see it reaches 50 in no time at all. Suspension does the job. Actually, the thing is, for the rider, the suspension is well calibrated soft, but for the pillion now, it's actually on the stiffer or the harder side. So overall, I would say it has a good balance between ride and handling, because it's very flickable scooter. It's not a scooter you would try to push very hard like say the N-Torque, because if you do, the scooter will flip. That's not its forte. Its forte is actually giving practicality and a good ride experience for day-to-day traveling in the city. For most people who don't really care about enthusiastic riding, this one is actually a very, I would say, frugal, easy to ride, and definitely quite maneuverable scooter as well. Only thing is, yeah, brakes feel too sharp for a novice maybe. That said, response is super duper nice. The handlebar is actually quite light, and someone as tall as me, I don't find it a issue as such, in terms of leg space, which is actually a good thing. And then taking a U-turn, no problem there either. The mirrors kind of feel useless though to me right now. Why do they make such weird shaping mirrors so that you can't see anything? And here, look at this, such an easy way to take a U-turn on this scooter. Now I think they have a lot of variants on offer, probably 6 or 7 variants. Range actually starts at rupees 90,000, goes all the way to 1,04,340, something like that, for the top end variant, which is the one with connected features, the one I'm riding. It's kind of expensive, but then all scooters have become expensive with the BS6 update. Unfortunately, that is the scenario at the moment. Now this has a 5-liter fuel tank. Fuel efficiency somewhere between 38 to 41 kilometers per liter, which is the usual norm. I forgot to tell you the specs of the scooter because they didn't seem important enough. However, this one has a 124 something cc, so you can call it 124 or 125 cc, nobody really cares. Cc single cylinder motor, of course, which produces 9 horsepower and 10.4 newton meters of torque, resulting in more than ample grunt for city riding and decent grunt for highway riding, but not really advisable to take it on the highway. You want to go on the highway, get a 150cc scooter or probably get a 150cc motorcycle. But hey, I am not advocating going on the highway with smaller motorcycles, because you can't really keep up the pace as such. And then obviously bigger motorcycles or bigger scooters and all have better braking capability as well out on the highway. But that's not important. What's important is you come across a bump like this and no problem at all, you can just go through. It doesn't give a kickback as such, but mind you, there is a small issue which happens to the fact that when you continuously ride a scooter for a longer duration now, then the ride kind of gets to you, because it has this bounce back effect of the suspension, the rear one specifically, which kind of hurts your back. And that doesn't happen regularly. It only happens when you go for a long ride or when you're with a pillion, but it's much less than what happens in the Activa. Because of the soft suspension, obviously such things are bound to happen. So as I see it, this Hero Maestro Edge, okay, the name is actually long. I think the Connect is also in the name, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that when you're riding it, you feel like you're riding the N-Torque, not because of the riding capabilities. Obviously it's much softer than the N-Torque. The N-Torque is much more sporty, more compact, more maneuverable, and just tighter and more fun. But the color scheme seems to be straight from TVS. Anyways, here we go, revving the motor and off we go. Yeah, nice, punchy, peppy, rideable scooter. This Hero Extreme, नहीं extreme नहीं है बेटा, क्या बोल रहे हो? Okay, I meant to say the Hero Maestro Edge. Actually they keep launching new things with the Extreme now, तो मेरा ध्यान उधर ही है. That's it guys, this is just a very small, there's some freaking stupid insect which is stuck to my visor and irritating the F out of me. Dude, get a life. इस नीचे से अंदर घुस गया, पता नहीं क्या कर रहा है, मैं इसको निकालता हूँ. चल बाय, हट. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give the thumbs up. That's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye, we made it through. I'm so proud of myself. Some stupid insect has got inside. Oh, finally got rid of the insect. That insect compelled me to end the video immediately, but I forgot to show you one crucial feature of the scooter. Here I have come to a halt. Okay, the scooter is on, it says i3s here. I've left everything. I think around 5 seconds is what it takes, and then it shuts off completely to conserve fuel, which is very important considering 111 rupees per liter right now for petrol. Yeah, there it shuts, scooter is off. What I need to do is press the brake and get on the throttle, and there it turns on. So that is really nice stop start system, which is very crucial given how fuel prices are rocketing. Like, it should never do that. I think it's heading for 150 rupees per liter, but unfortunately I can't do anything about it. What I can do is get myself a cycle.
A few moments later.
Come on, speed! 30, 32, 34.